resist. Adam and the Ant just released a new box set. Friend or Foe. So it's a good lead-in for this minor installment of the YouTube channel, minor installment of Custom Entertainment YouTube video blog. Today we're going to talk about what's going on in the wedding industry with a lot of vendors, not necessarily clients. But it is kind of an important thing for us to talk about. Wedding vendors are inundated with requests for weddings, obviously. People asking different questions, people looking for different things, whether you're a vendor, whether you're a photographer or a venue or a DJ. What's been happening, unfortunately, is there's been a rash of video or email inquiries that are scams. And I followed a couple of them to the end, and I was going to hopefully walk you through some ideas of what to do and hopefully a couple of ways to avoid them. When you open the email right away, look for spelling. I've been saving them for a long time. I pulled a couple of them up here. This woman's asking me, she starts the email with, she's works for Shell Petroleum in Nigeria, and the first line reads, the groom is an old white man getting married to a young black lady. That's the first sentence. Completely weird, not a thing you would ask or tell somebody in the first sentence. Red flag. Look for the spelling. This one has not bad spelling, but some of the other ones that I have, and I know it's difficult for you to see, the spelling is all wrong. I'm hiring you for wedding engagement. Scheduled for, you're not hiring me for a wedding engagement. That's already happened. So look for things like that, the phrasing. Too good to be true. One of the other ones that I was looking for earlier, but I'm not sure if I could find it. This woman wanted to fly me to Chicago. So she was going to send me to Chicago. There's no DJs in Chicago. There's just me here in Massachusetts, and she's going to fly me and put me up in a hotel and give me the money, but she wants to send me the check up front, and then I pay for everything, and then, give her the change or some ridiculous. I didn't even get that far. The first one that I was hooked in by was someone who actually had a name of a gentleman in, I'm thinking he was in Texas, and what we did is we followed that all the way to the end to try to get this guy's name. And once we did, I contacted the real guy who worked in the aerospace industry. This was the check we got from the so-called client who sent me this check. And the riot, my wife went to school in Texas, is this is from the National Pizza Company Incorporated, on 642 Yale Street, Houston, Texas. TEXA. TEXA. On your Texas check, would you spell Texas wrong? I don't think so. So that was a red flag. I already knew these guys were a scam. What I had done was tried to follow, as I said, to get that guy's information back so I could email it back to him, and at least he'd have somewhere to look. Most of these scams, some originating in Nigeria, though that's where the name comes from, the Nigerian email scam. So if it's coming from overseas, it's a red flag. If it's too good to be true, it's a red flag. If it doesn't make sense, the language doesn't make sense. One of the people asked me, my boss is paying for my wedding, and because my boss is paying for my wedding, I need your... Whose boss pays for their wedding? Ridiculous. Too good to be true. You'll usually find the misspellings. You'll usually find the quotes or the text that's just not quite right, doesn't make any sense, words are out of place. Here's my 3 ideas of ways to go. Number 1, delete it, ignore it, forget it. Simplest and most easiest way to go. If it fits all of these things, it's probably a scam. The second thing to do, which might be a little more fun, is to respond and tell them partially the truth and say, hey, we're having this rash of unfortunate issues with people trying to book us that are scams. We just want to let you know that we forward all our emails to the U.S. Department of Commerce and the FBI, and you cut and paste their URL in the body of the email. So it's kind of funny when they get the email back and they click on it and they see the links, they'll bring them right to the U.S. Department of Congress, or excuse me, the U.S. Department of Commerce, and that's kind of fun. You probably won't be bothered by them. And then the last thing to do is what I did, where I received the check and got the guy's name, and I sent the name back to the gentleman in Texas who was being, had his identity stolen. Now that's a long and drawn out process, and I think the downside of that, though also kind of fun, is you open yourself up to dealing with people who are already criminals. If they're already criminals and they've got your name, as someone that they want to hassle, whether they do that or not, then I suppose that's a relative issue that you would want to consider. So I hope I helped. Check it out. Other videos to come, a little bit more client orientated, but I want you to encourage you to check out our YouTube channel and check out some of the video blogs and see what you can see, and tell us your comments. I answer comments. I do video blog comment answering comments, video blogs, and so you can come and check me out that way. Thanks, peace, and have a wonderful day.